Hello everyone and welcome to this traditional Catwoman inspired by Michelle Pfeiffer makeup tutorial. So this features a body painting and face painting combined with the headpiece that you're seeing. As you must have guessed by now, I really enjoy painting the costumes that I don't actually own. So to answer the question, what would this go with? I would probably say if you're in the mood to wear black clothes underneath, that would be absolutely fine. So let's start off with foundation. I'm mixing a really durable foundation with a much more pale one. So this has a matte finish, but it's a lot paler than my complexion right now. I'm working this really well into the skin, and normally I would take this underneath the face. I would take it on the neck and the chest, but this time this part is going to be covered by black body paint. So moving on to the eyebrows, I'm filling them in with my concrete eyeshadow as usual. I'm following my own coloring here, apart from the contact lenses, which I'm going to be adding in the end. And really what we're going for at this stage is a smoky look with red lips. So just a beauty look before all the body painting and face painting comes in. I'm preparing the eyelids using my Urban Decay Primer Potion just for more stability and durability and all these good things. And I'm moving on to my Ebony Gel Eyeliner by Kryolan, which I'm going to be using all around the eye. And then I'm going to hurry up and smudge it to save my life right before it sets. So I want quite a smooth finish on this, which is why I'm going to top it off with eyeshadow at some point. But right now what this gives me is maximum darkness, maximum impact. A normal blending brush will do just to blend out the edges, and I'm also outlining the underneath of the eye. Before I move on to my white pencil by NYX, because in the movie her waterline is painted light instead of black, which doesn't give her much of a sexy look, but more of an innocent look, I think, in a way. And here comes the part where we're going to set all of this blackness with some more black in the form of some black eyeshadow. What this is going to do is, not only is it going to help with stability, but it's also going to prevent the gel eyeliner from creasing, and it's going to give it a really deep black matte finish. So we want this to be pitch black, where you don't want there to be any reflectiveness? What is the word even? I'm doing the same thing on both eyes, shocking, making sure that I blend as I go, because if I leave it till the end, then that's not going to be a good thing. I'm not going to be able to have my smooth transition as I want it. So I'm blending as I go, and then I'm moving on to mascara, which is my Catrice All Round mascara. This is not going to show up very much, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm just doing it to coat both top and bottom lash line before I move on to my contouring, which is a very cool toned shade from MAC, and I'm just going to slightly hollow out my cheeks using the shade. And then I'm going to go in with concealer. I'm not going to go right underneath the eyes because I do want to retain a little bit of darkness, sort of in the middle between a black smoky eye and a dark circle from tiredness. So yeah, that's what I'm going for. For my lips, I'm going to start off by lining them with a red lip pencil by Kryolan. I just want to basically follow their shape. I don't want to make them huge or a lot smaller. I think that's what they were going for in the movie anyway, but we definitely want the lips to be glossy. So this is going to be my color payoff and my shape. And instead of a lip gloss, I'm just going to top it off with a red lipstick. So the red lipstick that I picked is Cockney by MAC, just because this carries that beautiful, shimmery, very light, very creamy finish to it. And I think it's going to finish off those lips beautifully. I think this is the first time ever when I've combined red glossy lips with a big black smoky eye, and I have to say I'm kind of here for it. I'm not really hating it. I might consider wearing it out. Well, with this costume, definitely. So the headpiece is going on, and I'm going to continue it using black paint. This is water activated, it's very matte, it's very easy to set, it's very easy to work with, and what I'm doing is I'm outlining the eyes, so I'm leaving a very wide gap all around the eyes, and the mask is forming all around that. I'm just going to fill this in with black entirely, and just to make it slightly more three-dimensional, I'm not just going to stick with black, I'm going to add a little bit of white, and instead of shading, there's no amount of shading that we can do that's going to show up on black, obviously. So instead of shading, I'm just going to add highlighting, in the form of my oil-based white paint, which is my Clown White by Kryolan. So I'm kind of mimicking the shiny or shimmery parts of the headpiece. So whatever I see reflecting the light, I'm trying to recreate in the same type of style. So it's kind of rough brush strokes instead of a very smooth, very blended white highlighting on there. And there also seems to be some stitching. So I'm using the same white to create the stitches, and just to give them a bit more of a three-dimensional look, I'm also outlining them on the bottom with some black. And I'm moving on to the body with the same black that I used for the face. This is super easy. You just create this type of really tight neck, and then you fill in the entirety of your cleavage and your shoulder area, or in my case, whatever's showing up on camera, with black. If you're planning on wearing this out, you would take the black up to where your actual costume would begin. Another thing you can do is add some matte gray eyeshadow on the outlines of everything you've just drawn on the face and on the body. This is going to give it a much more realistic look to everything. It's going to add a lot of depth. It's going to make the garments and the continuation of the headpiece look as though it's protruding slightly from the skin. So it gives it that 3D effect. And the same thing goes for the white highlights that I'm putting on right now. So this is the same SUPRACOLOR, the same oil-based color from Kryolan that I used beforehand to create the shine on the mask and to create the stitches. This time I'm using it with a much larger brush, and I'm just highlighting the shoulders, because really when you're working with pitch black, there's not a lot you can add in order to make it much more interesting. So the trade-off is kind of that it's going to look slightly more gray, but that much more real. So what I'm doing now is I'm adding a little bit of white with a small eyeliner brush just to create a few details here and there. There's a lot of connecting bits on the costume. It looks like there's patches and they have been stitched on, just like with the mask. So what I'm going to do is, again, create these small little lines and outline them with white, and then with black. And then finally, as a last detail, I'm also going to add some more highlighting, but it's going to be a lot more rough this time. So these are brush strokes, which I'm not going to blend out a whole lot. These are resting on the seams almost of my new stitches. It's looking a lot more like patchwork now, only the fabric seems to be more raised in certain parts. Finally, I'm adding my blue contact lenses, and this is kind of making the look that much more convincing. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Make sure you subscribe and you like the video if you did. If you try something similar, make sure to send me a picture on Instagram, because I love seeing your recreations. Any questions you have, feel free to pop them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!